starting
Okay.
out, do anything and you will get better,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You don't have to like overthink it too much. But
Being
for the
able to love yourself and, validate who you are without any form of expression of it. And that's why I feel like that's what true confidence is in my head. Because
It gives us a journey of self-discovery through our art. Yours might be music or film or writing.
Always been my outlook on everything in regards to life. If I see anybody who has anything, my default is if they can have it or if they can do it, so can I.
We get to
Yes.
speak. We get to do a podcast. We get to work out. We get to. It's a privilege that people often complain and take for granted.
The sun will rise again, and so will you. I just wanted to come on here quickly, guys, have a quick episode, and speak about how the sun is a perfect example of how we need to keep pushing forward and why we need to keep getting up in the morning and having hope that things can get better. Because during those hard times, it is very hard to see the light and to see a way out of it. But there's only benefits that come with hope. There is only benefits in believing that things can get better. So you need to have this type of mindset, the persistence to believe that something great is coming. Just like every morning you see the sun, every morning you can get up and be something more and become something great and work towards something that you're passionate about and that leaves you fulfilled. Maybe you're in the process of just discovering what that thing is in your life, but that's the beauty of it, is the journey. So I just got some key points here that I want to go over. It'll be a quicker episode, but I hope you guys enjoy it. The persistence that we have towards our goals, despite all the roadblocks that we may face, will lead to our success in the end. The reason why you achieve anything great is because you never gave up. Imagine if you gave up even with the simplest things. If it was high school and you dropped out because things got a little hard. Or if it was a sport you were playing and you had a bad game. You had a bad game, so you quit the sport entirely. And I've never been one to be a quitter, but there has been times in my life that I've quit. And the problem is that all those times you regret it. You regret quitting. So if you want to live with less regret, you need to have this mindset that you could rise and you could be better. Because a life of quitting will just ruin your self-esteem and your self-confidence if you just quit all the time. The sun should be used as a metaphor that no matter our doubts, during the times of hopelessness, we will always come back. The problem is that people want a cure to certain feelings. People want a cure to self-doubt. They want a cure to feeling the hopelessness that anything will get better. But the matter of fact, the reason for these feelings is that they're normal. You're always going to deal with self-doubt. You're always going to deal with hopelessness. You're always going to deal with, is this actually going to work? But the beauty of it is once you accept that you'll always feel that way at some point in your life, that's when you can start to accept that feeling and embrace it. Embrace the uncertainty. Embrace the unknown. Once you embrace those things, they become much easier to deal with. Because you may, feel motivated, feel inspired 6 days, but then on the 7th day, something hits you. Oh, is this going to work out? Is this possible? Am I actually capable of doing this? You're going to have those thoughts. But if you go into that week and, you've been telling yourself, oh, I'm going to deal with doubt soon. I'm going to deal with some uncertainty soon. I don't know if this is going to work out, but right now I feel really good about this. And then Sunday comes around and it hits you. You're like, oh, I was waiting for you. I was waiting for this feeling. And once you accept that you're going to feel this, you'll be able to deal with it much better, because you'll understand, hey, you know what? Today I'm not feeling the greatest about what I'm currently doing, but I know tomorrow I'll feel better. And that gives you hope to keep pushing forward and not give up in that moment. If we can accept that it will be challenging, then we can begin to find joy in what is hard. This is very important because, like I was saying, even if it's not uncertainty, even if it's a challenge that you're in the middle of doing something and it's very difficult, if you can accept that the difficulty will lead to you becoming a better version of yourself, then you'll find joy in that difficulty. You'll try to find the difficulty. You'll try to find the hard times, because you know that once you come out of these hard times, you will be a more improved version of who you are. So a lot of this journey, a lot of self-improvement that people don't speak about, a lot of it is actionable steps. A lot of it is things you do on a daily basis. It's certain tasks that you may complete. But sometimes it's actually just you building up a stronger mind and understanding that you're going to come to these roadblocks in your journey that are going to slow you down. And it might not be physical roadblocks. It might just be mental roadblocks. And if you understand that these roadblocks exist and that you will encounter them sooner or later, you'll be able to hit them head on with all the strength that you've built up this far. Another thing is recall all the times you dealt with something difficult. You are here today. You will make it to the other end of your suffering if you have faith and patience. How many times have you currently gone through things that were very difficult in your life that maybe in that moment of difficulty, you thought, oh, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think I'm going to see this through. And yet you're still here today. You're here today still pursuing the same goals that you had before. So when you encounter these feelings, just remember that you've dealt with difficult shit before and you made it through that. So what's the difference this time? Are you not stronger than who you were before? So why question yourself? Why question your abilities? Why question your self-confidence? You've done this all before. It's just another chapter in the book that you need to deal with. This is the strongest thing about this mindset, is that if you can recall the difficult times and be like, yeah, I made it through that. I was able to see that through. If you're able to do that, then no difficult time will ever end your journey. It'll never end your pursuit of whatever you're trying to achieve, because you'll say to yourself, man, I dealt with some difficult shit in the past and somehow I made it through the other end. So what's the difference today, right? And this is a huge one. I made an Instagram reel about this. I think it got a couple thousand views. There's going to be a time where you wish you could relive this current moment that you are in. And even if you don't think so, if it was a difficult moment, there's going to be a point in your life where you wish that you could relive it. And the reason being is because of what these moments in our lives teaches us. The growth doesn't happen when you're feeling happy all the time, where everything's going your way, where life seems perfect. That's not where the growth comes from. The growth comes from the times of uncertainty, the times where you're in the grinding stage and you're so focused on this one thing that you're not doing anything else. That's where the growth happens. That's where you're becoming a better version of yourself. So if you could remember and understand that there's going to be a point in your life, and maybe 10, 20, 30 years from now, where you're going to be like, damn, I wish I could relive that moment where I was, in the mud and I was trying to get out and I was trying to push through and deal with all the uncertainty that I had and deal with all the self-doubt that made me who I am today. If you can accept that part, then that will bring you peace. That if you can understand, yeah, there's going to be one day where I wish I could be in this moment right now, so I'm going to find a way to enjoy it, right? And that's the thing, is positivity, people think of it as like this lolly-dolly-da concept, being positive in the hard times, like what are you talking about? The way I look at positivity and viewing things in a good light is you gain nothing from being negative. You gain nothing from feeling down upon yourself, but you gain everything from being positive and having hope, even in times where it feels like it's not there. But it allows you to get through those times because you feel good. And it's just a state of mind sometimes, you know. Sometimes you're too focused on the negative things going on in your life and not the positive things, right? It's like right now building up the podcast. Yeah, I don't got a lot of viewers. Yeah, I don't got a lot of listeners, but it's fun to me. It's fulfilling to me that I'm able to turn on this camera and speak my mind. So if I'm able to accept this and be positive throughout this process, even when it's like, oh, I'm not getting the engagement I want, if I'm able to stay positive throughout this thing, me being positive won't lead to me quitting. When you're feeling negative about yourself and doubting yourself, that's where you want to quit. So if you could erase that from your mind in certain times and certain moments, because they are going to come up, like I said earlier, if you could erase it when it comes up, you'll feel way better about yourself and you'll be able to keep pushing forward. Our journey always starts with the hope that one day we can reach the end. With this hope, we are always able to take the next step forward. Remember, my friends, the sun will rise again, and so will you. Thank you.